Hello all, welcome to this session of openmentor.net. We are continuing on software testing. In the last class we talked about detailed test plan, right, which is also known as DTP. We saw different techniques like a crude method, start with a verb, some of the rules that you should follow in preparing test conditions, right? The next step is called review. Review is one process, right, that everyone in software industry must understand, because in software everything is a document in one or the other way. Take a situation like I ask you to write one page about your city or your village or your childhood or about your school, and you write 60 lines. Okay, you write about 50 lines. In that 50 lines, can I find one mistake in one page? Maybe a spelling mistake, maybe a grammar mistake, maybe something that you wanted to do tell something but it means something else, or you asked me to write about myself and I start writing, I write about 50 lines. Can you find out at least one mistake in one page? Yeah, people are saying yes, we can find. Same way, you write the exam paper and your teacher is evaluating that, obviously teacher can find the mistake. Same way, any document that is made, right, and that can have issues. So someone else who did not write that document must review it. This is one of the golden rules, okay, that people must follow, because in most other places when people write, they make mistakes unaware, and if someone else sees, there's the same principle in testing too, right? Developers make mistakes. As an independent person, testers see, they find the mistakes. Same way it is applicable to documents also. So after writing any document, right, whether it is MTP or DTP or even a proposal, someone else has to review it. Again, there are different techniques, right? This method is called verification. Verification meaning, right, check whether we are building the product in the right way. There is another word called validation. This means check whether the product that we built is right. Verification meaning, right, check the process. Validation meaning check the product. Look here, whether we are building the product in the right way, that means whether the building process is correct or not. Look at this, check whether the product that we built is the right product. In essence, validation is nothing but testing. In software, the verification is review. Because before you develop the product, that means the coding is done, before you do the testing, specs, that's the SRS, design, right, code, all are documents, all are pure documents. Even before you start specs, right, the proposal is a document. Unless these documents are correct, your final product need not be correct. That means if the UI design is wrong obviously the UI designer will make it wrong. If the database design is wrong, the DBA will do it wrong. So before you get the binary of the product, so many upstream documents are available. If those documents are not correct, and if those documents do not go through proper verification, the final validation of the product will fail. So how to ensure this verification? Do a review. So what is review? In simple terms, one or more people will read through the document. Simple. Find out issues in the document. In a simple example, you want to construct a house. Before constructing the house, the design of the house has to be done. Basically the floor plan, elevation, everything to be done, right? And the builder comes to you with this kind of floor plan, and you say, hey, I wanted the kitchen in this location, whereas your drawing shows the kitchen here. I wanted the bedroom here, and you put that here. What essentially you are doing? You are doing nothing but verification. You are doing a review. Before the house is constructed, you are verifying the floor plan. Same way, right? In software, review the documents. Ideally, every document will go through review. During review, again, there is one person asking, there are different terminologies that we are hearing about review. Can you explain that? Yes. There are different terminologies. There is something called inspection. There is something called walkthrough. There is something called peer review. Okay. There is something called desk checking. Let us go through one by one what each one means. Okay. Inspection. What does it mean? For example, in project, say project X. This project X has got A, B and C. There are 3 people working in this project. There is project Y. In that project, X, Y and Z are working. What I am going to do is, I am going to ask, okay, I am going to ask a different person, right, who is working in a different project. Say, I will ask X. Let X review the document made by B in project A, project X. That means I am asking a person who is working in another project to review the document in one project. That means you are bringing a totally external person to the project itself. That is called inspection. Right? Walkthrough. Walkthrough meaning, again, this will be done by the same project people. This walkthrough will be done by same project people. We are not bringing external people. But what does it mean? Others review, author explains. That means I'll be part of the room where you are doing the review. One person is asking, so when you are saying review, what will happen in that review? That's what we are going to see in the next 5 minutes or so. We will tell what exactly will happen in the peer review, right? Walkthrough meaning same project people will read through the document, but during that time the author will keep on explaining, oh, this is what this is what I mean. So the author is also present during the review. Peer review, again same project people, but author need not be present during review. That means it can happen offline. I will send you the document through email. I may not be present in front of you. You read through the document, then you send your comments to me. Offline, totally offline. Desk checking. Okay. there is another thing called desk checking. That means just have another project guy, right, person, go to the desk of the author who wrote the document, do a quick check. It need not be formal. Just go there, see it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, point out simple issues, then go. Ideally, this will not take more than 5 minutes. These two will take a lot of time. This will take more time because you are bringing another person from the project. You have to explain that to that guy. Then that person has to review, right? So there are 4 different techniques as part of verification. One is called inspection, one is called walkthrough, one is called peer review, one is called desk checking. The purpose is same. Somebody makes a document, somebody else checks the document. In all these 3 cases, it is all done by the same project people. In inspection, it is done by a different person from a different project. During walkthrough, author is also present. Author explains side by side. During peer review, author need not be present. Desk checking, just have one person go to the desk quickly, see the monitor, see the document, then and there give the suggestions, come out. Right? Okay, this is fine. What exactly we should review? Right? What exactly we must review? That means you give me a document. What should I look into it? Okay, now I am asking you the questions again back. I give you a document. What will you check? Okay, person A says spelling and grammar. Very good. This is what I want. First thing, somebody gives me a document. I don't want a spelling mistake. See, in current days situation, you write everything, do a spell check. The software itself does. At least you should do that. Before sending it to somebody else, do a spelling and grammar check. Fine. Then what will you check? Okay. I will check the document template. Good. Because I am saying when you are writing DTP, test condition ID should be there. Test condition description should be there. And it should be in one way. And it has to be in a spreadsheet. You cannot write it in a notepad, right? So the template must satisfy. Good. Then, third thing. Okay. Any answers? Any answers from the audience? Okay. Let me explain. Important thing that you need to check is there a duplicate test condition? Because we are talking about DTP review. So someone has to say, is there a duplicate test condition, right? Because when you keep on writing it in a spreadsheet, right, you might have done some cut and paste. For example, one scenario that we talked about is delete a contact, right? Somewhere else, after some 15 lines, delete user's contact, right? Or somebody has written something like delete a contact from my contacts. Obviously, this is also doing the same purpose. This is also doing the same purpose. Because I write scenarios now, I go for a coffee, then come back. There's a tendency that I get the same idea, but without looking the top portion of the document, I may even type it. So there may be repetitions. Find out whether a scenario or a test condition is repeated accidentally. Is there a duplicate test condition? Check that. Second thing, is there anything missing? That you should definitely check, because you know the specs. You have read through the documents, SRS, and you have been given the test conditions. Imagine somebody did not apply crude method in all the cases, right? Deleting a chat message, deleting a contact. Somebody missed it out, sending just one character as a text chat, uploading a photo in GIF format. If they have missed it, that means that idea did not strike the author, so he or she did not write. You have to say, hey, this is also a possibility. You missed this test condition, so write that. Second point is that, is there anything missing? Now third, is there anything extra? This is also important. Something is not there in the requirement, but you wrote that, right? Imagine there is no upload photo feature at all in the product, but someone has written based on his or her previous experience in some other project, uploading a photo. That is also a test condition, whereas specs never talks about uploading a photo. So people might have done something extra with some assumptions. See whether is there anything extra. Fourth thing, right, is the verbose consistent. That means for 10 conditions you are writing in active voice. For some other conditions you are writing it passive voice, right? People will tend to write in different flow, right? That's why I always suggest write simple plain sentences. Start with a verb, right? Apply this crude methodology so that the way you write will be consistent. Even if you write 1000 test conditions, the way you are writing will be simple. It will be easily understandable for others. So during the review, look for these. Okay, I will take this, then what will I do? Okay, you have been given a document and you are asked to do the review. After the review, what should I do? Okay, not after the review, during the review itself you have to do something. That is called, this portion is called review report. You have to prepare a review report. It is also known as review comment. It is also known as review point sheet. Different companies call it in different ways, but all mean the same. Review report, review comments, review point sheet, all mean the same. Whatever findings you have got, you should document in a spreadsheet, send it back to the author. So what should I do? Very simple, right? Maybe if you are reviewing a test condition as a DTP, you need to have test condition ID, right? Then comment. What is your comment that you are going to give? Then status. Then there is something called assigned to. Again, usually this assigned to will be the author, so let us not worry about that. So you need to have a simple sheet like this, and then you need to write your comments. For example, I can say test condition manage contact 003. I say this is a duplicate of test condition MZ008. All comments that you are giving will be in open status. There are only two status, open and closed. Occasionally they can say deferred. Deferred meaning postponed, right? These will be the status codes. Any finding you give, right, on what test condition you are giving that, what is your comment? I can say contacts module, right, missing, delete multiple contact test condition. That means somebody is missed, right? Whatever, you can always say photo upload 008, spelling mistake in the phrase, open. Point out every mistake. In fact, I still remember my school teachers, whenever I give a notebook with something written on it, they used to have this red pen, right? They will circle wherever I made the mistake. In every page, wherever I make the mistake, they will make a circle and I need to correct it. All you are doing is the same thing. Somebody has given you a document, you are pointing out what is the documentation issue right there. Just put that comment against which test condition you found that, put the status as open, save this document, send it to the author and the test manager. The author has to go and then see all these comments. He or she has to correct it. Once they finish the correction, they will say this is closed, this is closed, this is closed. Ultimately, if you have given 15 issues, they should not be in open status. Either they should be deferred or closed. Right? Ideally closed. That means they corrected the mistake. Same way in your school, you would have written the lab record notebook. Somewhere you make the mistake, you leave the left page blank. You have to write only on the right page, right side page, right? Any mistake you make, the teacher will circle in red ink, and the correction you have to do it on the left hand side of the notebook. That is closure. You give a comment, you write something, somebody reviews, they give a comment, you correct it back. This is the simple process of review. Remember, review is the backbone of software, because everything is a document. Unless you correct it in the documentation, project cannot be a success. It will take time, it needs patience, but it needs to be done. So the next process will be, after you write DTP, there will be a review. Again, even after MTP also there will be one review, but you may not do it as a tester. Since test manager is preparing the MTP, master test plan, maybe the project manager and the development lead may be doing the review, but not you. But review concept is same for any document. Okay? Somebody creates the document, somebody else, maybe one or more people, review that. Is it anything missing? Is it anything extra? Spelling, consistency, right? Is there a duplicate? Point out those mistakes, let them correct the documents. If the review is not done, imagine there is a famous story book some author is writing. In that, 2 paragraphs are interchanged, right? By mistake. Imagine, and it has gone to print. Imagine the chaos. In magazines, imagine the daily newspapers, magazines. They will review 7 or 8 times before some article is published, right? Magazines, newspapers, right? Help files, right? Tutorials, guides, administration guides, user guides, all are documents. One thing that you make a mistake and it is gone to print, imagine the loss. So I have seen many magazines having 7 levels of editorial, because everybody, it is going through 7 different pairs of eyes before it gets printed. They will filter all the mistakes before it goes to print. Same way, before it goes to customer, before it goes for building in software, we need to ensure all the issues in the documents are removed. That process is called review. Review is the backbone. I will stop this session here. In the next session we will see about test case writing. Thank you.